Okay, all right. So anyway, I just want to show you guys some different things from different angles to show you that the news from Thursday where they said that the 2026 budget, that the rate would be set, I'm sorry, that the budget would be calculated off of currency valued at 1,300 dinar per US dollar, okay? I just want to show you guys a whole bunch of different things, give you guys something to think about. Again, I'm not here to debate this with anybody. I'm just here to show you some real data. At the end of the day, again, it's none of this is worth debating. At the end of the day, it's worth it for you guys just to see the truth, see what's going on, so that you're informed and you can make your own decisions and you can decide where you think this investment's at. Okay, that's at the end of the day, that's the best route for us to go in this. Let's get started here. So let me shift. Okay, so you guys can see the screen. We're good to go. So one thing, let's get some preliminary stuff out of the way to get your mind and your thought process going kind of on the direction I'm trying to go with you so you can think in the correct direction as we're moving and go from there. So what you guys are going to see in this video, you'll see a lot of material, brand new material showing that Iraq's a sovereign state, showing that the new many different directions are going require a tradable convertible currency, but yet last Thursday the 8th, the central bank comes out and says, hey, we're going to change within the 26 budget, which mind you guys is not even created yet, okay? And here's the status on the 26 budget. Around the end of last year, the Council of Ministers had put some information out suggesting that the 26 budget could be close to being created, drafted, okay? But they've never formally announced that the 26 budget is created, ready for approval, okay? Again, it's never been announced it's created. They've just given out suggestions, such as I have seen articles where they've said that the 26 budget will be priced against a barrel of oil somewhere in the $60 range. Okay. Again, they gave suggestive data that they have started working on it, or it's close to being created in a draft level, something like that. But it's never been formally announced that the 26 budget is even created yet, just so you guys know the status on that. Now, with the news, again, there's a ton of news out showing they're going international, showing that they need an international rate for the direction they're going. Now, if you look at everything coming forward, okay, right now nothing's moving forward. Right now it's all talk. They're telling you we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They're telling you they're doing many different things, requiring them to have a tradable convertible currency. But yet when you look at everything they're talking about, that's it right now. It's all talk. It's conversation. Nothing's moving forward that needs a real international rate. So understand that. So, and anyway, and then when we get into all the news, you're going to see that Thursday's comments were just misleading garbage. Okay, you'll see that. But again, I'm not here to debate this with anybody. I want you to see this from different angles for your own knowledge. I think that's important, okay? So, all right, let's get into the first article here. All right, so right here, the Interior Ministry 2026 will be the year for completing the handover of security file across Iraq and ending the militarization of cities. Again, they used to have sporadic security where you might have militias over here doing this. They had Iranian militias. They had Turkish militias. They had all these foreign militias in their country. Right now, they are working to, and that I mean, at the end of the day, we haven't really seen any articles talking about foreign militias even being there any longer. So control and removal of most of the foreign militias has occurred. We haven't seen news or data talking about that. But again, they're telling you how the overall security of the entire country, even at province level, is going to be handed over to the federal government. The federal government will take care of securing the entire country. Okay, that's important right here. It says it says right here, 2026 timing and international angle. 2026 is framed as the target year to complete this transition nationwide, coinciding with the U.S.-led coalition drawdown and the base handovers like Ain al-Assad. For external partners, it signals more normal sovereign state professional police and cities, fewer militias, and clearer counterpart for security cooperation and investment. Again, going international, okay? That's happening in this year of 26. Oh, sorry guys, hold on, I split screened it. Let me redo that. Okay. All right, so right here, we have fulfilled the requirements for achieving full sovereignty. Again, at the end of 25, the UN left after 22 years of being there. And then just as of this week that's finishing right now that we're in, the last remaining combat troops from the U.S. military exited the last base of Ain al-Assad. So again, the U.S. government is now out of Iraq. Okay? So the U.S. combat troops are out of Iraq and all that. Now, and I'm going to, you guys, I already see comments going, some people talking about March. And again, that's awesome. I mean, everybody needs to have their own thoughts and opinion in this. That's awesome that you guys think this through at that level. But there's some other things before you just jump into March and April. There's some other steps, again, just to think about, okay? But as you guys see, UN, U.S. combat troops have all vacated Iraq, and Iraq is now a sovereign state. Look at how Sudanese standing up with other top military officials and so forth, because Iraq is now sovereign. They're going international. The number one thing that they're waiting on to finish this final step of going international, getting the rate changed, is for them to have the final level of stability required by the central bank, and that is called a formed, completed government. So the second article here says the same thing. We work to end the missions of the International Coalition and the United Nations mission in Iraq. Okay, this is political. I don't care about that. Official clarification regarding the dollar exchange rate. Again, I'm not getting all this. I want you guys to see more of the data that shows you that Iraq is positioned to go international and the rate needs to change. Let me get past the political nonsense. And again, guys, I'm on Substack, so if you guys want to see a much deeper dive in this, which is what we do, and I'm probably going to do another video after this for Substack where we dive in deeper, factor in the politics and all that, because that's a huge piece, and that's your delay right now. That's stability to the central bank. That's when Iraq's going international, is after that government's formed. And you can see all of the, see how the same time while their government's being formed, Sudanese coming out saying, hey, we fulfilled all the requirements to being a sovereign state, but yet the rate hasn't changed. So yeah, there's a delay piece in this. Because they're announcing they're sovereign, the rate hasn't changed, and you're in the presence or in the middle of the government being formed at the same time. Okay, hold on guys, I got a lot of information here, let me get through it. Okay, right here, here's another one for you. Let's open this up. It says, Parliament supports automating the state, maximizing revenues away from taxes. Iraq hasn't had a massive tax package implemented. One of the things they're going to do is reform their taxation within the country. They've already announced that. They said they will be reforming their taxation in the country, which means when the government's formed and parliament's back in normal session, doing their normal steps and tasks. Okay, that's at the end of the day, that's what it's waiting on. But they're showing you again. They're showing you, and that needs a convertible tradable currency because they'll be taxing foreign workers there. They'll be taxing foreign companies working there. Everybody's going to get taxed. They'll have tariffs. That's international taxation. So again, they're showing you the rate needs to change for all this. But yet they said on last Thursday, oh, we're going to calculate the 26 budget off of dinar valued or priced out at 1,300. Now I want to show you one thing. Here's one thing you have to understand. I saw where some content creators came, and I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just, again, clearing the air, bringing the truth forward. This is the rate right now, and this is the central bank's website live right here. I showed you that at the top of the screen. Central bank website live. Here you go. Still at 1310. They are misleading you guys. There isn't a 26 budget coming forward at 1,300. It's not happening. Okay. But again, what I wanted to tell you, there were some content creators coming out there telling you that the dinar value is changing to 1,300. If other content creators are sharing that with you, that level, I mean, that's a terrible mistake. That's a highly inaccurate mistake to make right there. Okay. I've heard quite a few share that, but again, you might want to just consider where you get your news from so you're not misled. That's simple. Again, the central bank value of the dinar will remain the same. It's just that they're claiming, which is BS, misleading information. They're claiming that the value or pricing of the 26 budget against the dinar, because again, budgets are calculated off of currency values, will be dinar at 1300, and that's not happening, okay? So we talked about automating, going international, and so forth. And again, multiple revenue streams is a world trade requirement. That Iraq cannot join the world trade with one revenue stream being just oil, just so you know. Politics, we're going to skip that. The government is committed to developing the clean renewable energy sectors. I had another article on this where, I don't know if it's this one because I brought forward a couple of them on this. Okay, I'm going to skip this one, but the renewable energy stuff, we'll get into that in a second. I've got another article that I wanted to show you on the energy part. Because again, you want to look at how long that they've waited on that. Again, the timing, the wait, that's important to understand with your studies. Why the hell have they waited so long? So right here, Commander-in-Chief, we've fulfilled the requirements for achieving full sovereignty. Again, that's what allows them to change the rate and implement all these new international steps and requirements that are pending, waiting for the rate to change to come forward, like their massive trade. They don't have massive trade going right now. It's preparing to be brought forward, but it's not implemented yet. They have pending massive tax reforms. They have pending massive tariffs coming forward. They have all that coming forward after the rate changes. It's all paused and delayed till the government finishes being formed and all that. Right now, Iraq is stable as evidenced by the 450 companies participating in the Baghdad energy sector. Again, they're going international. Let's look at this article right here. It says right here, I did some research on this for you guys. It says these agreements between, because in this article they mentioned both Siemens and GE. Those contractual agreements were drafted clear back in 2018. They only moved forward on a very small scale. It says right here, we will improve electricity and we will have a plan to produce 57,000 megawatts. And again, they're planning to have a critical part of that done by what would be next summer, okay, of 26. And again, that's going to be done by both GE and Siemens, who they drafted those agreements with. But why did they wait so long? Again, okay, right here, here's the research I did. It says, when were the Siemens and GE electricity agreements drafted? These were drafted back in 2018-19. Why did they wait so long? They had to, okay? It has to do with Iraq being international, having that convertible tradable currency with value, okay? Along with having some of the U.S. sanctions off them. And again, as you see, it says right in the title, both Siemens and GE project, right there, below the picture. So again, all of this is waiting for Iraq to go international, get the sanctions off, have that convertible tradable currency. And again, now ask yourself, why the hell did they wait so long? They had to. It's called timing, international timing. And as you see, but yet they said, oh, last Thursday, yeah, we're just going to recalculate. We're going to calculate the 26 budget against dinar priced out at 1300. Right, we believe you, Iraq. We know you're full of shit. Okay, it's that simple. When you look at the real truth, sometimes you can't look at what they tell you. You have to study the truth in this to get an accurate understanding. It says right here, okay, this is that article from Thursday the 8th. See, I showed you guys where the current central bank value of dinar is at 1300 against the US dollar. We're not going to get into this article. The world's already seen it last Thursday. Just showing it back to you. I felt it was important to clear the air because I saw what a lot of other content creators were sharing, misleading, inaccurate news, saying the dinar at the central bank level is going to get repriced. It's not. The central bank isn't going to reprice the dinar on any level. It's going to remain right now at 1310 until the rate changes. Then it will have a brand new value, okay? And you guys already saw this one right here. The federal government is going to take over the security file basically throughout the country of Iraq. That's going to, again, that's going to help them establish power and control of making sure the foreign militias are out of the country. And that's the other reason they're doing it, is because the foreign militias have left the country. Majority of them are gone. And that's the reason that they are doing this, okay? Because it's their country to secure. They're a sovereign state now. So it says Anbar Health Directorate, new medical facilities to open and plans to complete several hospitals soon. Again, timing. Look at how several are coming forward soon. Okay. Here's another one for you right here. It says this has been delayed 15 years now getting implemented. Now, those are my comments. let's look at the title here. It says, what has changed in customs duties? Customs explains. What's changed was something delayed. Important piece to understand, called timing. Why now? Why now? It says basically, so they had, let's look at the summary and key points first. It says, no new duties on essentials. The General Authority of Customs confirmed that food, medicine, and basic goods will not face any increase in customs duties. And notice how they will not face any increase. That's a phrase of in the future, like down the road ahead, okay? It says how other goods are taxed. Duties on non-essential goods are now calculated based on weight and product classification. The legal basis is right there. Now see, this goes clear back to 2010. The changes stem from the cabinet decision of 25, which activates them long-standing customs tariff law clear from 2010. Why is this coming forward now? Why now? Because they're, again, it's been delayed for 15 years because they're about to go international, okay? So we studied that one. This is political, the House. Yeah, we're going to do that in the next video for Substack. Electricity agreements signed with international companies to build power plants with capacity of 48,000 megawatts. Again, that's that agreement with GE and Siemens signed or put back, kind of drafted and put into effect and established that MOU agreement clear back in 2018. Why? Why so long? Again, international timing, okay? Along with being an international country and a sovereign state. So the dollar's rising, we know that. That's because they're getting ready to ramp up their trade. Right now, the dollar is their current tradable currency they use. That's the reason why the dollar is rising in value. That's a huge impact, though, to the timing of your rate change, okay? And hopefully you guys understand that. If you don't, we can help you with that on Substack. Implementing the Escutia system achieves 4 positive outcomes and increases non-oil revenues. Again, the timing of this is one, but the other, that it creates additional revenues separate from non-oil, that's a WTO requirement, having additional revenue streams right there, okay? Oops, hold on, guys. It went back to the very beginning of the screen right there. Okay, we studied that, we looked at that. Okay, so we studied this. We already posted all the articles for Parliament, not critical to this right now. Here's another one for us right here. Iraq seeks to purchase Pakistani JF-17 Thunder fighter jets. Again, timing and going international and becoming a sovereign state. Here's another one for us. Let's look at this. Right here, update on international displacement in Iraq. Right here, the International Organization for Migration, IOM, and the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, have published an update on internal displacement in Iraq. And this has to do with some of the displaced citizens within Iraq, okay? And it's kind of the UN's recommendations on how to deal with this. Not real critical to our studies. So it says, Iraq clarifies West Kerner 2 oil field management, not real critical. Again, and this one came out. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is a good one. I wanted you guys to see, too, how nothing's moving forward in Iraq. Why? Well, because the government's not formed and the rate hasn't changed. Right here, the government did not impose any new tax, okay? Nor have they imposed any new tariffs. It's preparing to be implemented and brought forward, but nothing's brought forward yet, okay? Again, timing. Right here, trade is moving forward. Trade is moving towards reducing some tariffs in preparation for joining the world trade. Again, everything's paused and delayed till the government's formed and the rate changes. It's that simple, guys. Okay? And no, there will not be a 26 budget priced at 1,300 dinar. The rate's changing. Iraq cannot do everything I'm showing you without the rate changing. You cannot. Remember, guys, I've been studying Iraq's news clear since I got into this back in 2009. And I study it. My head is in this 2 hours a day. That's why I'm not willing to debate this with anyone. Okay? So, at the end of the day, and I study this at a very thorough level, I'm not bragging. I'm just confident in my review and research. What I'm sharing with you is not one content creator has taken the time to study this at the level we just did right here, where I showed you that if you take the time to study all of Iraq's actions and what they are doing, that you can clearly see based on Iraq's actions, they have to change the rate. Okay, they absolutely have to change the rate based on their actions alone, and that news that they brought you as of last Thursday was completely misleading to you. Okay, you just can't trust everything out of Iraq. Sometimes you have to dive in deeper down to this level here, which is this is the level we study at right here on Substack, just to help you guys out. So, and good morning to all of you guys that are saying good morning. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. That's right there the bulk of everything that I really wanted to show you guys. Again, notice the banking reforms are not coming forward. You don't have banking reforms. You don't have tax reforms. You really don't have any reforms right now, because they're all waiting for the government to finish being formed, which again, that's stability to the central bank. That's their perception. And again, the number one delay in this the whole time has been political corruption. So that's why the central bank's saying, hey, the entire time the central bank has refused to change or increase the rate or reinstate the rate, simply because of political corruption. And that is also why they, as soon as the government's being formed, they're bringing forward a massive banking reform package. That's the number one way to tackle and control corruption in any country, is through tracking the money and banking reforms. That's the number one step to reducing corruption overall. Okay, that's why the banking reforms are coming forward right after the government's formed. It's that simple. So and then all the other dominoes will fall along with that. They have 150 plus laws to do. So again, I just wanted you guys to see this at what is coming forward, the timing. Iraq has too much stuff coming forward. Let's get into your comments now. I think that's important here. Let me see if I can. Let's go left. Actually, that's the full screen, guys. Hold on here. All right, so you guys can see your comments there on the black screen in the middle. Sorry, guys, they're kind of reduced, but you guys can see them on your own screens anyway. So I'm just showing them to you guys while I'm doing it. So good morning to all of you. And someone's saying we're headed into March. Let's talk about that for a second. I just shared with you guys a lot of pending steps and tasks that Iraq has to do. For one, the 26 budget, Council of Ministers has not announced that they've finished the draft completion of that. So there could be some remaining steps from the Council of Ministers on the 26 budget, and then Parliament will need at least probably a full. Historically, they've taken, I think the shortest I've ever seen them approve a budget was a month and a half. So they could need anywhere from a full month to a month and a half to approve that 26 budget, okay? Between any possible remaining steps, 1.5 to 2 months. So again, those of you saying March, April, I only disagree. Again, I'm not trying to, again, I want everybody to have their own thoughts. That's very important in this. I'm just giving you some extra items, steps to consider. They have a lot of stuff to do, and if they were to finish the government, and here's one thing that, you know what, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. This is what we study on Substack that you guys don't see. So some of you guys are saying March, April. Well, think about this for a second. Let me ask you a question. How fast, let's say they finish the president. Sorry, guys. Let's say they finish the presidential position in Parliament within the next week or two. And then you're down to the final two steps, putting in the Prime Minister and his cabinet. Now, the Prime Minister and his cabinet, according to the Constitution, they have up to or within 45 days to do that, okay? To put the Prime Minister in, they have 15 days. For him to do his cabinet, he has 30 days. What if they were to re-elect Soudani, and what if Soudani reappoints or repositions his entire cabinet? How fast did the government just get formed? Think about that. They could have the government formed anywhere by the end of January to like mid-February at that point, okay? The government could be formed a lot faster than you're thinking in your thoughts. Think about that carefully, okay? And that would give them, if they had the government done and formed anywhere from, let's just say by the end of January or by mid-February, somewhere in there, that would give them quite a bit of time to finish the budget. Now, but remember, before they can finish the budget, this is kind of the key point I wanted to walk in with you guys. Before they can do the 150 plus laws, before they can approve the 26 budget, okay? And before they can implement everything I showed you, the rate, after the government's formed, the rate change has to be the next step. It has to be the next domino to a fall. Again, I'll say this again. Before they can move forward with anything, laws, and remember the 26 budget is a law, so when I say laws, I'm also mentioning the 26 budget, okay? Laws, budget, all these reforms, before they can move forward on anything else, the rate has to change after the government formation, okay? So that's one of the only reasons I disagree with a March to April timeframe in this, because if they had the government completely formed faster or quicker by reinstating Soudani and possibly his entire cabinet, you're basically telling me they're going to be sitting around doing nothing. But again, everything outstanding right now, everything is waiting for the rate to change. Everything. Right now, there's not one person out there that can tell me that there's one more critical step. For example, the oil and gas law is not even coming forward. All of Iraq's major pending steps now going forward are waiting and requiring for the rate to change. It's that simple. That's one of the only reasons I disagree with this. Now let's get into your guys' comments, because I see where you guys are saying on another forum you saw this and that. We're going to get into that, and just so you guys know, a lot of most, and again, not bragging, just sharing. Most other forums don't know how to vet the news the way that I do, okay? I vet the news very thoroughly for you to let you know if news is misleading and accurate. In fact, the person at the bottom, Just View It Girl 7450, I saw the article you're talking about where Maliki and Soudani agreed to back off. That was misleading information. I'm just being honest with you. That is, Maliki's not even going to get back in, okay? But that was a misleading article, and the forum that you got that from did not know how to vet the news correctly that they shared with you. One of the things I do, or on our forum, is we post all of the news, but if it's misleading and inaccurate, we flag that for you and let you know that it's misleading, not credible news, okay? Let's get into your comments. Okay, we already kind of covered possibly going into March, April, but again, on that, after the government's formed, they've got to change the rate to proceed and or implement their next step. So I just want you to understand that. So while you're thinking March, April, after the government's formed, they have to change the rate to get into their next steps and actions overall, along with the implementation of all these major outstanding items I just showed you, okay? Country Road. Once they get a completed government, what is going to be their excuse? You know what? If you want to think they have an excuse, we're not even going to go down that naive road with you. Okay, yes. Steve commented how everything will be visible on the CBI website. Let's talk about that for a second. I've heard a lot of comments over the years I've been doing this where everyone's like, when are we going to see it on Forex? When are we going to see it on Forex? Well, let's talk about Forex, for example, compared to what Steve mentioned, the CBI website. What is the mother source in this? Is it the CBI's website or is it Forex? It's the CBI. Now, back when they devalued the currency. So again, if you want to reference Forex, it wouldn't be a smart move because you'll find out the rate has changed probably 3 days late. Back when they delayed the currency value on Sunday, December 20th of 2020, from my own back-end research, the rate change had posted immediately on the central bank's website, but not on Forex. When it was delayed that Sunday, again, the central bank website had the new updated change immediately. It wasn't, that new delay didn't make it to Forex's website until Wednesday morning. So again, if you want to reference Forex, I don't know why you would. Forex has nothing to do with Iraq, period. But you do you. Steve, if you want to believe Mark Zavia's in Iraq, I wish you the best on that thought. Someone's trying to say there's too many unknowns. If you want to believe that, Iraq's revealing more information to us, saying there's too many unknowns. Iraq has revealed everything to us. They want to do banking reforms, and they're going to. That's because, again, political corruption is the number one, it's the most critical item to the central bank. That's the reason they're waiting for the government to be formed, then implementing the banking reforms along with the timing of the rate change. They'll do those in close proximity to each other, okay? Because, again, that's the most critical aspect of changing the rate to the central bank is political corruption. It's been their number one delay the whole time, okay? Let's see here. So I covered Just View Girl at the beginning of all this. But again, what they said is that, or Just View It Girl. They talked about, there was an article this morning where both Maliki and Soudani said they were exiting out of the government formation. That's not true. Maliki isn't even going to be a factor or a concern in this. I wouldn't even erase Maliki from this. It's just Soudani. Okay, Soudani has been the most critical and most important prime minister ever in this. He's accomplished the most. He's done the most. He's the most well liked overall. Okay. In my opinion, you'll see Soudani reinstated in either all or majority of his cabinet, and what that's going to do, in my opinion, is speed up the formation of the government, allowing them to change the rate sooner than anticipated. Okay? It's that simple. So, and you know what, guys? Here's one of my members right here on Substack right here, guys. You know what? Just so you guys know, on Substack, I don't have any admins at all. It's a one-man band, a one-man show. That's me. I just come forward to help you guys and bring the truth. I was in your guys' position back when I jumped out and started doing this. I started going down the road you guys are going down. I was reviewing other content creators, sharing a lot of information. The thing is, I think at a deeper, more analytical level than most people do. And when I noticed there was a lot of just overall inaccurate information coming forward, I said, you know what, I want to clear the air on this. So I jumped out many years ago and just started doing my own due diligence and research and analysis to come forward and help people on a truthful, accurate level, just like we did. Okay? But, and hey, just View It Girl 7450, let me show you something. So you can see the screen on the right, okay? Let's look at something. So you found one article, and Just View It Girl, I'll tell you what my own little personal rule is to myself. When I see one article telling me something, I don't trust it. I seldomly will trust one article, okay? So again, I saw maybe one article that said both Soudani and Maliki out of the race, but let's look at something here. I've got quite a few articles right here on the right that actually say, again, quite a few, not just one, that talks about the Sudanese being the best choice for prime minister. There's one. Here's one right here. Okay? It says the Sudanese, the best popular choice for prime minister. And then I have another one. Here's another one right here, but I put comments at the top where I said re-electing Soudani and his cabinet, complete the formation fast. See, so again, that's two, and I've posted a gazillion more of these. I have a lot more than two, where it says Soudani is the best choice and the most likely candidate for the prime minister. But again, everybody's got to believe what's best for them. I'm just trying to help you with the truth. Now, right here, Jolly Young is one of my Substack members. They're voicing their opinion, and I want you guys to do that. This is not about me on any level. This is for you guys. I'm just coming out to help you. Very simple, okay? Here's what Jolly Young posted about my overall work. I will share to you what they said. I've never talked to Jolly Young. I don't even know who they are, okay? But they're sharing their honest thoughts to you guys about me. Don't trust the nutty gurus, as I mentioned in Substack this morning. Again, that's an honest comment from one of my members in Substack right there. Can't make that up, can you? So, and someone says in February, you're saying, guys, I don't know when the rate's going to change. I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see they have up to January 28th. Again, this is just per the Constitution. They have up to January 28th to get the president voted in and complete that position. We don't know how long they're going to take. If they were to complete this is just an example. If they were to complete the president, say in this next week sometime and have a session of parliament, and then say they did the prime minister and his whole cabinet shortly after that, again, we don't know how long the prime minister is going to take, nor his cabinet, but they possibly could change the rate by the end of January or February. We just don't know. It's going to depend on how long the government formation takes. And again, that's just me being completely honest with you. But overall, I do believe that the formation of the government will go faster than you expect or realize. Now, those of you that have a lot of time in this, and again, I've been in since 2009, and I know there's quite a few that you have a lot of time. Historical facts show that Iraq doesn't do anything fast. Also, historical election facts show us that they don't form the government quick on any level. But I do believe that this time around, the government's going to get formed faster than we expect or anticipate. It's that simple. Let's see here. All right, he's hidden. All right, we got rid of Mr. Rodriguez. Goodbye, Rodriguez. Nice knowing you, buddy. Let's see here. Someone's asking when Mark Savai is going there. In my opinion, guys, I'm still looking for. Here's the thing. I'm seeing articles leading up to Savai going there. As I've studied the news throughout this week, there's been quite a few articles that have been talking about Iraq working towards removing foreign militias. Now, I've also seen some articles coming through where they actually have pending laws in that 150 plus law package. They have pending laws to help tackle that step and work on that. Okay. So they're going to need some of that legislation. So what I'm saying is, I think Savai will be going there again after the government's formed. Very simple. And throughout this past week with news I researched, there were quite a few articles talking about, again, Iraq is now working towards removing those foreign militias. So again, that suggests to me Mark Savai is going to go there after the government's formed. Okay, very simple. All right. Right, here's another person's comment, guys. Again, I don't make up your comments, you guys do. And comments don't hurt my feelings. My feelings don't get hurt. I'm just here to be honest with you guys, and you guys are here to be honest with me. It's a game of respect between us. This person here, Brian, says, I'm the same way more analytical. I appreciate you guys. See, I don't make this up. You guys are just voting your honest thoughts and opinions here. Yeah, this is right here. This is, oh yeah, just View Girl. She goes, Jeff, if I knew everything, I would not listen to content creators. No fisherman says his fish ain't stink. We can learn more from different people. We all want the same thing. And that's true. That's true. It's just, for me, it's not, here's the deal. Again, we don't all think at the same level. I fully understand your position, Just View. For me, because I know how I think and I see all the news, because my head's buried in the news 2 hours a day, that in order for me to get someone to pique my interest, I need them to, I need to listen to someone share information that I don't already know to pique my interest and grab my attention. And that's just how I work. So, King Drip. I'm going with Q1 of 2026, unfortunately, closer to WTO accession. Well, we're in King Drip. We're actually in Q1 right now. So, and we don't have the date for the Q1 accession. I mean, so you can't just say closer to the WTO accession. We don't have a hard date for that. So that's an unknown factor in this. So anyway, all right. So John Smith, there has been no change to the exchange rate. 1310, 1320 operational rate hasn't changed. 1300 budget doesn't represent a change. No new rate was in the budget, unfortunately. Well, okay, John, you jumped way far ahead. You said no new rate was in the budget. The budget hasn't been announced as even being a created draft law yet, nor has it even been sent to Parliament. So technically right now, John, there isn't a 26 budget. It's a thought. That's as far as Iraq has made it with the 26 budget, is it's a thought. Okay, so again, I'm just trying to show you when you study facts and when you study where Iraq is talking about wanting to go from so many different angles, that they have to change the rate. That's why I showed you where all of these items are paused and not moving forward, because they're simply waiting for the rate to change. And again, right now, everything remains as a thought until that rate changes. It's that simple. Do we know when Iraq joins the WTO? No, I did just announce that for you, empty belly. It's never been announced. We know it's soon. There's still remaining pending items for Iraq to join the WTO. It's that simple. Again, there's additional things that Iraq has to complete. There's some laws, taxes, tariffs. There's a few small handful of things waiting for the rate to change before Iraq can join the WTO. And just, again, let's go to ground zero with the WTO. The WTO with the WTO, Iraq has only remained an observing member all the way back since 2004, because they've been waiting for the rate to change so they could complete the steps we just talked about: reforms, tariffs, taxes, those items, and certain laws. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, that's it on your comments. We're good. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. And again, if you guys want to join me on Substack, I'll post a link before this. Again, the whole reason I'm forward doing this, or jumped out to reach out and help you guys with this, is to really clear the air. I wanted to simply, bring the honest truth forward to help you guys. I got tired of what most content creators do is they share the news with you. They read you the news. But again, they don't know how to vet the news for you. Like, is this credible and accurate news? How does this news compare to Iraq's factual steps of what's happening? I mean, with Iraq's actions, how does this line up? You gotta analyze all that together to understand the truth in this. Okay, and I might mess up your name. If I do, I'm apologizing. Tanai Shia James. Hey, blessings to you as well. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, hey, you guys are the best. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful weekend. Take care.